we are getting into the Aries reading here. We'll start out with tea leaf. You'll get a pocket animal spirit card. Then we'll go into the spirit song tarot. I will clarify with the enchanted world tarot. Then we have Queen of the Moon and Happier Me affirmation cards. And then we'll also grab some charms. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and start here. So we'll start out with this one. Okay, so we have the month of July. So that could have been last month for you, or it could be having to do with next year. It could be the number 7 that has importance. Or that Cancer or Leo could have importance. Alright. We have Sun, happiness and well-being. That's interesting. I was thinking of the height of the sun, like summer solstice. So perhaps the summer solstice will be an important time, or was with the passing one. Mountain, major challenge to overcome. Frying pan, trouble, accusations. Interesting. Okay, so in your meditation, I was getting... I actually, when my Palo Santo stick gets a little bit stubby, I use a, what are they called? The little things that you get splinters with. Oh, I can't think of the word right now, but I'll use that to hold it so I don't burn my hand. And it suddenly shifted because it's on the last little bit, and the ash must have like built up to a degree that it closed in a little bit, and there's a magnet in this old oil burner that I have that I use as an ashtray now, and so it flipped all of a sudden, and some of the ash went up, and it was like snow, and so it was like this intense burning moment, and then suddenly I felt like there's peace, stillness after whatever this intense thing was, and perhaps even like in winter when it's snowing, but that could also just be, you know, a sign of stillness after the heat. Alright, we have Mountain Road. You are on the road to success. So it's through this mountain, through these challenges, that that you build up strength, that you know, gain success over. Whoa, interesting. That looks very much like that pathway. Misunderstanding. Okay, I'm feeling like you are feeling the challenge aspect of this stuff, of this trouble and accusations and, you know, just these challenges going on in your life. But it's actually through them, you know, you're riding on top of this wall. It's like the pathway to success. Okay, I got Humpty Dumpty, which makes me think like, okay, so you might feel like whatever these challenges you're going through are like making you fall into pieces. However, I think when you get beyond this, when you get to the top of that mountain, when you go through those challenges, you're going to see that actually things were falling into place, and it's been part of the journey, that you were meant to go through these challenges. And success, wow. So you're successfully going to make it through these challenges, and all in all, I see it actually being a very wonderful thing, a blessing in disguise that takes you into happiness and well-being. And I even think like by this time next year, I think throughout that, I think by winter you're going to be feeling more peace within the situation, but by this time next year you're going to really have evolved from it. Alright, let's get your pocket animal. Spirit guides and angels, messages for Aries. What does Aries need to see? Messages for Aries. Okay, we have bear and raccoon here. Interesting that one is earth and one is air. So bear definitely speaks on, oh no, they're both earth. I had this upside down, my bad. But one speaks on endurance. I think also the idea of, you know, making your happiness, because this looks like the sun is shining here. And you know, we have the sun and happiness and well-being, so you're enduring this rough terrain and ultimately choosing to allow yourself to like feel the happiness even through it. And we have the raccoon here. So there's somebody who perhaps lurks in the shadows, in the sense that they wear a mask. It might be like, and this is something you would already intuitively feel, you just perhaps have ignored it. But let me go ahead and actually look up I just would actually like to read to you the animal here. Alright, so here's Earth. Alright, so Bear. I just want to take note that it's page 60. Okay, Bear. Waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, Bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When in balance, it represents inner strength and yearning to grow. When out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy, heaviness. To bring into balance, movement, exercise. So facing the challenge, Earth is very much so about like facing something head on, because it can be a very stubborn energy. And so I see you facing these challenges head on. There's just a lot of earthly energy. It's interesting too that the order that these were grabbed in was Mountain and Mountain Road and Bear and Raccoon. Alright, let's go ahead and read Raccoon now. I feel like it's this way. It's quite elusive. This raccoon is very elusive. Okay, it's definitely in the earth sign, so it's gotta be here. Aha. There we go. Talented. Okay, I'm instantly getting this. Okay, so in your meditation, I saw an eagle cleaning its talons. And talons, like, it's actually where the word talent comes from. It has to do with like skill, because it was also a form of exchange money, something, I can't think quite of what it was, but I remember it being something to do with that in some culture in the past. And so it was cleaning its talons with its beak. I don't know if it was sharpening its claws, I couldn't quite grasp, but I saw its beak going to its talons. It could have been sharpening. So it's like sharpening your skills, honing, and that's what I even wrote. I wrote honing, eagle cleaning talons, developing, honing skills. And I saw talented, and it made me think of that. It was shadowy and hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists, to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. I'm going to pause there. Actually, while I was reading that, I was getting the idea of, I actually got this like a week ago, the idea of identity. And you know, it's commonly thought of now because people, like either celebrities or influencers or what have you, become so attached to their identity. They feel like they can't change. They feel, and like, even as far as to like, you know, they might even in their own energy feel like it's like because they get comments and different things, so they might feel like it's their viewers like creating this, but it's actually like one's own attachment, because you know, we are very malleable. I like to think of the human vessel like clay is like, in our bodies are like 60% water. Clay, you know, is earth but also water, and you can always like, you know, you put it in the kiln and it holds its shape, but like it's still like, it can be reduced back to earth and clay and reshaped. Like, you know, water is very adaptable. That's what it's known as in its element. But we are too, and identity is something that the ego tries to attach to, but ultimately we're always shifting and can always mold that into, you know, like, because the path is a winding road, and you know, you have to bend, and with that, you know, your ego must bend, and you know, it can get very stubborn and want to stay fire. You know, when you put things into the kiln, it can become more earth and become more stubborn and not wanting to budge, wanting to move. And yeah, so it's more so a battle with one's own ego rather than, you know, the feeling. They might feel on some surface level that it is, they feel it's like a duty to their viewers, but in reality, you know, it's an attachment to that identity, or even to like wanting the views, or like whatever it might be. But truly, you know, if you're being called or pulled somewhere else, it's going to attract that energy. Like, if that is where you meant to go, if you're feeling resistance and like a pull, like you no longer want to attach to the identity, but still are, you know, there's something to look at there, because there's resistance there, so you're not fully meeting. So, you know, even if you were on YouTube and have all these viewers, or had this job and that you identified with and had all this income already, you know, there might be even more success coming to you that you're blocking yourself from because you're attaching to this certain identity. It does not matter. Identity is just an idea, really, if you break it down. But yeah, so it's like you have more ideas to explore, but you're holding yourself back in some way because that attachment and comfort of where you're at. So it doesn't matter how successful you already are, there could be more for you. But alright, let's see. When in balance, Raccoon is a generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. Yeah. So that's definitely what I was feeling. Like, it doesn't matter you know, how successful you've gotten to this point. You're craving newer work, you're craving more, and so that's something to look at there. Alright, let's go ahead and get your spirit song. Spirit guides and angels, messages for Aries. Woo. Spirit guides and angels, messages for Aries. Spirit guides and angels, messages for Aries. Okay. I'm feeling that this way. Okay. So we have 5 of feathers. Strategy, resilience. This would be equivalent to the 5 of swords. So with strategy is definitely coming out with this more so than the conflict itself. So it's like, what are you focusing on? Do you want to focus on the conflict itself, which is a natural part of energy? You know, just looking at alchemy, looking at physics, you know, there's always going to be positive and neutral and negative energy. And negative isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's needed. But it's just, you know, we've attached this idea to negativity as being a bad thing. But, and of course, like, you know, it can feel that way. But there are blessings in disguise, and there are like really contrast, and when 2 things butt up to one another, is complementary. It's alchemy. It's how physics come into play and how we get so much beauty in this world. But, you know, it can feel, because it's opposing, it can feel, you know, either restrictive in some way. It can feel rough, like it's the rough edges. But in reality, it's like that contrast that creates depth and wonder. But yeah, that's what it, okay, so 6 of feathers, transition, insight. So through this, you are gaining. It perhaps has been difficult to look at because you're difficult to learn from, just out of it being, you know, a rough experience. There's a lot of rough edges here to sort through, but ultimately they're going to give you insight. And then we have 8 of acorns, energy, results. We clearly see that here. You're climbing that wall and walking along the edge, walking the path to success. And it's out of this trouble that this, like, something's cooking, you know. We have King of Crystals, courage, commitment. However, it is in reverse here. And we have Knight of Crystals, endurance, determination. You know, we got that endurance with the bear. you're very determined to, you know, climb this wall, make it through this mountain, and you have everything you need within you, you know. So what I'm feeling with this King of Crystals, oh, which by the way, so 6 of Feathers is also swords. 8 of Acorns, that is the Wands. The 8 of Wands there. King of Crystals is King of Pentacles, and Knight of Crystals, Knight of Pentacles. So definitely so much earthly energy here. So I think that's something to look at. Perhaps you have a lot of earth in your chart, but perhaps also you're just in that element strongly right now. I think it's to help build your courage. But I think it's also, in a way, you know, making you feel a lack. But ultimately, you know, it's there. It's just, you're still working through it, and the rough edges make it hard to feel that, you know, you're enduring, but you're also tired. So rest is going to help you for sure. Bears are very much about getting that rest. And I do see a period of stillness coming for you. Camels also are, you know, able to withstand the heat in that desert with this ability to, like, you know, hold strong, hence the endurance and determination. So it doesn't matter that you're not feeling that energy. It's obviously there deeply inside of you, and you are heading towards success no matter what. It's just, you might not feel like it, and it's something that you will continue to grow. I'm also seeing the sun as like ego development. Perhaps you had to work hard throughout your teen years, and you felt, you know, those are the ego development years throughout your teens and your young adulthood, when you're really individualizing and becoming your own person. And, you know, you don't want to attach to identity, but you're finding, you know, aspects of yourself and connecting with certain identities that can, of course, shift. And that's what I see going on here, like an ego identity, like, evolving. Clarify here a little. Spirit guides, angels, messages for Aries here. Tower and the King of Pentacles. So this definitely is to realize your strength. And to learn how to, like, plan and strategize long term. I do see in that rest period, there is going to be an intense moment. Something, you know, kind of life-changing. It might be intense, but it's ultimately this, like, really good thing, this good shift in your life. And it's going to help you gain this like courage and commitment. Perhaps you fear that you lack ability to commit, and you're attached to this idea, and that's something that's going to evolve for you. I definitely see that for some of you. But you're stepping into your own. If any of you have any codependency issues that you've been trying to work through, I see over the next year you're very strongly going to be in your own, and it won't be, you know, something in your way any longer. We have the Ace of Swords. So that insight is definitely coming. There's definitely something through this challenge, through this trouble or accusation that is cooking up. It's happening for a reason, because it's, you know, without it happening, your mind wouldn't collect the right stuff, the right information, the right, you know, the proper neuron firing. When it happened, something's formulating, and an insight's going to come to you through this. Strength. Yeah, this is about strength building. Two of Hearts. I see this as like a detachment from like ego identity. And realizing you're strong no matter where you stand. That it has nothing to do with any external thing. But you're strong no matter where you stand. And we have here the Prince of Pentacles, which is equivalent to the Knight. So this is, you know, just really confirming that you have everything you need. You have what it takes. And I see you honing your skills for sure. You know, he's holding a staff with a star here. He's blowing a horn with a star here, and it looks like very similar. So I see you, you know, shining through this, and, you know, honing those skills, sharpening yourself. And I do think you know, there is going to be a period of rest. There's going to be an intense period, or you perhaps already have gone through this. This is the past position, so you might have already gone through some kind of intense thing that you've been strategizing and finding a way through, building up your courage to implement whatever it is that you're strategizing for. And then there is going to be a period of rest, you know, reformulating, or just, you know, building a stronger blueprint, and then foundation laying, and things, you know, slowly building up in a very sturdy way, like the foundation of a building, because you're building your empire here. Alright, let's go ahead and get your Queen of the Moon. Spirit guides and angels messages for Aries. Spirit guides and angels messages for Aries. spirit guides and angels and messages for Aries. Okay. All right, we have acceptance. So I see this both as accepting two sides, like accepting that, you know, negativity isn't necessarily a bad thing. Of course, you don't want to dwell in any form of negativity. You don't want to dwell and become stagnant anyway, like with anything, but you know, life is consistently moving. But you know, accepting that it's actually complementary. You know, that's how bonds happen, is through acceptance and allowing the atomic exchange that goes on in physics. But that happens, you know, on so many levels, like of life just in general. But also accepting the different parts of yourself. That there is different aspects that you are meant to adapt, you're meant to evolve. We have patience. So perhaps you're resisting this stillness. You know, strategy works. You know, you can strategize best when you take a moment to be still. You know, animals, like, before they pounce, often stalk. They often are still and just very observant, listening, like they're sensing everything around them all at once, and just very still while they do so before they like dive into it all. So definitely feeling that. There also might be something from childhood. The red balloon can represent childhood. You know, we all certainly have that, our own stuff to work through, and that's also a part of ego development. So I am very strongly feeling that's what's going on for you. Resistance. So yeah, we are definitely feeling that there's some resistance going on to allowing yourself to evolve here. But ultimately you are going to succeed, and you need that stillness. Oh, and here's the eagle. I just heard you, there's the eagle. So, you know, you will free yourself from this as you accept and allow stillness, allow patience to settle in. Luck is coming to you as well. This ladybug climbing the hand. One might actually land on you as well. Know that that is a sign of luck, that you are on the right path, that this too shall pass, and you have the strength. The masculine. So the masculine is about that vitality, potency, the action, And when you become stagnated, you're no longer taking action. You might just be in the humdrum. But I see you will take that stillness because you're being pulled into that for a reason, to really help you be still and strategize, and then you will take action and focus. Okay, so there might be something that you need to let go of. This full moon is really calling to me, and seeing this waning moon. It actually says here it's waxing gibbous, but coming after this full moon, I'm seeing it as waning. And focus, it goes both ways, in the sense that there's things you focus on growing and developing, but sometimes there's things you have to let go of, and if you don't make sure to put intention to that, you might get caught up and you might not do it. So perhaps after the full moon, that is the best time to let something go. And then for a full moon cycle, that's where it becomes more stable, more habit forming. So you might let go of something with the moon. But also, there will be something after that period of rest that you take action on, and then you will be in development of something. So make sure that you take time to be still and focus when that period does come. Let's get your affirmation card. Messages for Aries. Alright, we have here, I am enough. Compare to no one. We all have our own journey and our own rhythm. And also don't compare to yourself, because you are constantly changing. You don't have to meet your own demands of whatever identity you've attached to. Follow your own rhythm, respect that rhythm. That's like a part of your own evolution. It's okay to want more from yourself, but be gentle with yourself in the process. Be your own supporter rather than your own enemy. I am enough. I trust myself to make the right decision. Always try to be your best supporter. The true magic starts when you believe in yourself. So, you are definitely going to be in that King of Pentacles energy. You already are. You just might kind of phase in and out of it. Like, that's human. To have doubts, we go through, that's just part of the process, is going through that and then remembering our strength and our ability and our endurance. And remember to celebrate yourself. And you don't have to attach to how far you've come, but be proud of how far you've come. but allow yourself to, you know, to continue to evolve. Let's grab your chart. Awesome. We have the sun here. So definitely you're headed towards success and happiness. Hot. Okay, there's so much hot energy with this frying pan, with what happened before you read with the Palo Santo. There's definitely an intense situation that's already happened or is happening now. That is something that you're going to digest. You're going to, you know, stir the pot within yourself and find insight through that. We have 1 and 4. Interesting that both dice came out, the red and the blue. That's like fire and water and steam. So more about that. Gaining stability and insight. We have the guitar here. This is about getting in your own rhythm. You know, as you play music, you know, the song, the music is like moving through you. It's very, and with artists and raccoons, some of you might also make music. Or it might be cathartic for you in some way. But yeah, you do let the music pass through you, you know, when you play, and it's, you don't, I mean, sometimes music will like keep one note going, but you know, it's passing and it's beautiful to hear all of the vibrations, all of the sounds. We have here Cancer. So I did feel with July as well that's you know, Cancer and somewhat some of Leo's in there as well. I hear Cancer came out. Some of you might be Cancerian, you might be dealing with Cancerian, or Cancerian energy just might have a heavy influence on you. You're in your comfort zone and you're being called to break free from that, to get into the Leo energy of ego development. And we have the horse here. This definitely connects to the Knight of Pentacles that came out twice for you. It also, of course, connects to the Chariot and movement, progress, success through, you know, climbing these mountains. The Leaf, so growth through these pressures going on. You know, an interesting thing about nature, I'm just being given this, I don't fully know this or understand it myself, but there's like a lot of gases that help plants with their growth, like, you know, nitrogen. I think phosphorus is more of an element. Phosphorus where things bloom, but I think nitrogen has to do with the leaves more. But anyways, you know, that creates the oh, what's it called? I'm thinking of the crust, but that's the earth. The ozone layer. And you know, that's like, probably if you were to step back, like pressure of earth. You know, gases can create pressure. But it's like in that pressure that growth occurs and strength. Alright, so we will leave this here. I thank you so much for being a part of my journey and welcoming me to be a part of your journey as well. And until next time, lovely folk,